Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barnes Physical Education Center for tonight's USA South Volleyball Championship game between the Scots of Covenant College and the Scots of Maryville College. Let's first talk about how they got here. Last night in a quarterfinal game, Covenant beat Ferrum 3-0 to advance to the semifinal, where Maryville knocked off Methodist 3-1 yesterday afternoon. Then this morning in three very close games, Maryville College took out the number one seed from the north, Averett, 3-0. Every game was within 2 points. Then the Covenant Scots won an exciting four-set match against Meredith, avenging a 3-0 loss in the regular season. Which brings us now to the Battle of the Scots. Two familiar foes here in the USA South Division. They've played each other twice this season, a home-and-home series, with the home team coming out victorious in each game. Maryville beating Covenant in 5 in Maryville at the beginning of the season, and Covenant beating Maryville in 3 closer to the end of the season. I'm Ben Wharton and my broadcast partner Scott Bosgraf here on our broadcast debut for Covenant College. Welcome you to the game. A largely pro-Covenant crowd as expected, though Maryville does travel well. Hannah Rogers for Covenant to start off. Nice dig. Side, block. And that's going to be a block. Number 3, Skylar Moore. Number 11, Chelsea Van Dyke.
I think that's going to be important tonight, Ben. Good blocking on both sides.
Absolutely. Defense wins championships, they say. But outside, number 24. Julia Vineyard with her first kill. Knots the score at 1-1.
Julia with 8 kills in their semifinal match. Starts off the same for the final.
She'll be an important one for Maryville as far as scoring points goes. Number 23, Corey Jaycott back to serve. A little miscommunication. Jenny Moore from the back row. Good dig. Solid dig by Jacqueline Stewart. That ball went around the antenna by Olivia Becker. Olivia Becker forced into action here with an injury to Jessica Seahorn. Becker, freshman from Missouri, played well in the semifinal game. Covenant will need her to play well in this game if they expect to win. Vineyard again, dug out well by Hannah Stewart. A little dump over the net, dug out well by number 17, Taylor Ewell. Chelsea Van Dyke puts it down. Scott, that's a name we'll probably be saying quite a bit tonight.
Yes, it sure is. Chelsea had 11 kills in their semifinal match.
And this is the matchup we're looking at. Number 8, Madison Coker for Maryville, and number 11, Chelsea Van Dyke for Covenant College. Two seniors will be going at it tonight. There's Coker with a kill of her own off the block. Some substitutions for Maryville College coming in. Number 19, Mary Kate White. Number 22, Clara Adams. Maryville leading 3-2 here in the early going. Yeah, well, the kill for number 19, Mary Kate White. Maryville College leading 4-2. And that's going to be an ace for number 22, Clara Adams, to extend the lead to 5-2. Scott, Maryville has a tendency of going on some runs here, and volleyball is a game all about momentum. So let's see if Covenant can stop the run here and get momentum back on their side. And that helps. Service error into the net by Clara Adams. You may see that by Covenant as well. Both teams have had a few service errors, but both teams will have some aces as well. And right on cue.
Right on cue, Ben. Chelsea Van Dyke with the service error.
Both teams like to be aggressive with the serves, which will lead to some easy points. They'll lead to some easy points for the other team too sometimes.
6-3 Maryville.
Outside to Jenny Moore. The Moore combination, the setter of Skylar and the outside hitter of Jenny. Attack by Megan Morgan Opkenorth. That's her first of the day. First time we've said her name. Back outside to Jenny Moore. And Moore puts it down.
Jenny's going to have to hit well for the Scots tonight, Ben.
Agreed. Jacqueline Stewart's out. Hannah Rogers in for the Covenant Scots. May be a little confusing saying the Scots tonight, as both schools are the Scots. To serve, Skylar Moore. Dug out well by Yasmin Chan. Nice dig there by number 22, Claire Adams. Little punch over. And dug out well off the ceiling. Still live as long as it stays on your side. You can do anything with it. Another little punch. Kind of batting the ball back and forth here. See if somebody can put it down. Another tip. Morgan Opkenorth gets the free ball and puts it down. Excellent attempt there by Sofia Del Campo, but not quite tall enough to reach it.
Morgan also doing well as a middle hitter for Covenant in the 2 matches earlier this tournament.
6-5 Covenant. 6-5 Maryville, excuse me. Covenant serving. Solid serve. Maybe a double, but they usually let it play on the first ball. Set up nicely for Jenny Moore. She hits a great dig by Sofia Del Campo. And number 6, Nia Holler?
Number 6.
The 6, Nia Holler puts it down. Off comes Madison Coker, and in comes, is that Corey Jaycott, 23?
Correct.
Back to serve number 7, Yasmin Chan. Yasmin's done a great job this tournament filling in. I believe Maryville's opening day setter. It's been injured. Oh, it's a double block there by number 6, Nia Holler, and number 23, Corey Jaycott. Once again, blocks, playing a key role. Yasmin Chan filling in for Caitlin Flickinger, who played libero at the beginning of the season. Not sure exactly when the injury occurred. Flickinger is suited up, and a kill from Opka North with authority.
Nice quick set there.
Maryville didn't have time to get a block up, and Opka North had a free rein, and she put it down.
8-6 Maryville.
Back to serve, Jenny Moore. A hard serve. Roll it over, dug out well. Next set to Hannah Rogers, and it is blocked again to Becker. Almost in the net. The little dump by Skylar Moore. Oh, and the ball does not get back over. Maryville thought it was going to get back over and was playing the rebound, but the ball did not actually get back over.
Good dig there by Hannah Stewart. She's done a great job as a true freshman for Covenant all year long.
Yeah. And Covenant also playing without their regular libero this tournament. Our regular libero, Ariana Buchanan, a freshman. And that ball did not get over the net, so it's going to be 4 hits on Maryville that ties the score here, 8-8. Ariana Buchanan, the starting libero all year, sustained a concussion last week, and so Covenant, in the midst of 1 week, has had to change their defense around, with Hannah Stewart filling in very nicely as libero. And we've got a net, and they're going to call it on Maryville.
Covenant takes their first lead.
Thought that might have been on Covenant, but the referee saw it as Maryville. But Covenant's had to make a few changes here defensively, putting Hannah Stewart in at libero. Great dig again by Sofia Del Campo. And a with authority kill by Nia Holler. Again, I've said her name quite a few times here at the beginning of the game. That's put Hannah Stewart into the libero role, and also pushed Mariah Corney into playing some more significant minutes as a defensive specialist. So Covenant having to play with a few new folks, Maryville having to play with a few new folks. This is where it comes down to who's got the most depth. And stay with it. And Covenant stays with it and actually returns it. That's incredible. And we got some more nets, and it's going to be Maryville in the net. Wow, Covenant. That ball was down. It was in the net, twice on that play, and Covenant dug it out.
All the way to the floor. That was great athleticism by Covenant on that point.
I know both coaches always talk about play the ball till the whistle. And Covenant did just that right there. Covenant once again go after Del Campo. They push deep. A great dig by Hannah Stewart. Jenny Moore with the back row attack. Chan with a great dig. Double block by Becker and Van Dyke. Back set to Hannah Rogers. And it's stuffed again. Back and forth. Olivia Beck with a roll shot. Dug well by Holler. Outside to Vineyard with the set. Moore with the back row attack right into Del Campo. The little dump. Van Dyke reads it. Becker outside. And Covenant's able to put it down. Block wasn't quite able to penetrate the net. Fell down on Maryville's side.
Great point there.
Back and forth action here. This is everything you want in the beginning of a championship game. The chant of she's a freshman going on, although at this point in the year, it's hard to say anybody's a freshman with over 30 games under their belt. Covenant coming in with a record of 18-12. Maryville with a record of 18-10, so almost 30 games for Maryville. Long serve, might have been out, but Del Campo digs it. Outside to Holler. Deep, and it is going to be out. And with that, Candace Schramm will call the first time out of the game with Covenant leading 12-9. Scott, what have you seen here in the early going?
I think just like you expected, both teams coming out, maybe a little bit of nerves early, but attacking well. Good hitting on the outside by Jenny Moore. Great digs by Del Campo on Maryville's side. She's brought the ball back constantly, but I think exactly what we were expecting.
Yeah, it's going to be back and forth all night. It's going to be some swings. There's going to be a lot of energy. I don't think either team's going to be intimidated in this situation. They've both been here before. They're both very familiar with each other.
Yeah, Maryville winning the conference the past 2 years, so they're certainly familiar being here.
Yeah, in fact, this is a rematch of last year's USA South Championship game that Maryville won in 4. The Covenant is hosting the USA South tournament, courtesy of they're finishing first in the USA South Division and beating the USA South North Division #1 team Averett 3-2 earlier this season. It's like Covenant's hosting. It's been a great tournament so far. Great crowds, good energy, good volleyball, everything you want at the end of a season. Teams playing well. Hannah Stewart back to serve with Covenant leading 12-9. Holler digs it. Outside back to Holler. And we've got another net, and looks like Holler actually went under the net, I believe. It was a tight set. Had a couple of those here in the early going. Maryville in the net maybe 3 times here early on. Stewart back to serve. Hard
Another
line
good
drive,
serve by Stewart.
Great spot there. Going cross court, back set to Jenny Moore. And Chan digs it. 23.
Good dig there
Claire
by
Adams.
Olivia Becker.
And a lot of back and forth here. Again, out to Olivia Becker, off the block. And it's down. Looks like Chan with a great effort. Looked like she got her hand under it, trying for the pancake and knocked it up, but just not quite enough for Maryville to get it.
14-9, Covenant.
Covenant on a nice little run here. Another hard serve. Del Campo from the back row. And Stewart wasn't quite able to get. Great block there, great effort, just scramble mode for Covenant. Oh, but Vineyard said that is enough of that, and she puts an end to the Covenant's run. I believe that was a 5-point run, 4 or 5-point run for Covenant. And Vineyard puts an end to that, so now it's 14-10. Back to serve for Maryville, #3, Stephanie Gleason, another senior from Knoxville. Jenny Moore with the dig. Into Chelsea Van Dyke. Wow. Wow, that ball was hammered.
She's hitting that ball down in a hurry.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Van Dyke. If Maryville isn't able to get a solid block up, she does not miss many hits. Same thing with Coker on Maryville's side. Haven't said much of oh, and the referee says that ball was tipped.
Little touch. Serve was way long.
It was long. Del Campo thought she got out of the way of it. The referee was right on top of it and said he saw it differently. So Rogers with another attempt. Floats one in there. Back to Del Campo again. Outside for Vineyard.
Nice block.
Blocked. Becker and Van Dyke. A roll shot. Rogers getting on the floor. Jenny Moore the back row. Buell knocks it up. Del Campo going outside. Into Van Dyke, and once again, if Van Dyke is on a roll, she is hard to stop.
She has found her spot.
Yep.
They set her quick like that, like you said before, and they can't get a block up. She puts most of those away.
Yep. Like I said, be careful, because Coker, I've seen Coker do the exact same thing for Maryville. Another long serve by Hannah Rogers. And just like that, Coker back into the game. Look for Maryville to get #8 going here. In the semifinal game against Averett, she basically took the game over. They were losing, I believe, 20-15. They were losing pretty bad at the end of the game, and she basically, back-to-back missed serves there. Corey Jaycott with a long serve. Back to Coker. I don't know if you were here for that, Scott, but she basically put the team on her back and put the ball down over and over and over again.
Yeah, they just kept setting her. She definitely had the hot hand.
And Becker with the The hot hand this game seems to be Julia Vineyard.
That's third or fourth kill for Julia.
That's her third kill so far this match. Back to serve here for Maryville, Clara Adams, number 22. To Hannah Stewart, outside to Jenny Moore. The Moore-to-Moore connection, well dug by Chan. Oh, and the tip on the block redirected it. Corny not able to dig it, and it'll be a point for Maryville. 18-13 right now.
Couple of big points there for Maryville.
Yeah, if Maryville can get on a little run here, they get back in the game. Dug out by Jacqueline Stewart, outside to Jenny Moore. Well blocked there by number 19.
Mary Kate White.
Mary Kate White. And number 8, Madison Coker.
Good block,
solo
right
block
back by
there
Chelsea.
Van Dyke. Outside to White. Little tip over. Didn't fool anybody. Might have been a double, and it was. Little miscommunication there. Well, Skylar Moore struggled with that a little bit in the semifinal game. Whether that was tight refereeing or she was doubling. I'm sure fans for either side would debate that, but.
Another good serve there by
good long serve. Probably would have
Clara
been
Adams.
out. Covenant's probably going to take a timeout here. Maybe one more point, just some miscommunication.
Yeah, 4 points in a row there for Maryville.
Yep.
Back to another tight game.
Yeah. Volleyball, such a game of momentum here.
Yes, it is.
If Adams can keep it going here. That was very close. And the referee is going to say that ball is in, although the Covenant fans and the Covenant players disagree. Probably going to go right back at Hannah Stewart here. She's had a couple of tough returns. Be surprised if she goes right back to her.
Does well with that one.
And they're going to call a double on Jacqueline Stewart.
Covenant calls a timeout, 18-17.
Just like that, Maryville is right back in the game. This is exactly what Maryville did in their semifinal match this morning against Averett. Fell down behind significantly, got on a run, and was able to close out Averett in 3, although all of them, it was 25-23, 25-7-25, and 25-23, so can't get much closer than that.
That was fantastic game this morning.
The big difference right now is Maryville has some attack errors. They got 7 attack errors. Covenant only has 3. Maryville hitting at a fairly low 0.26. Covenant hitting at 156. So that's been a little bit of the difference in the game, though the errors and the aces here at the end have brought Maryville back. Both teams blocking well, both teams playing fairly solid defense, though the serve receive has been a little bit suspect on both sides.
Some of that from good serving.
Right. Coach Joanna Eman in her 3rd year at Covenant College, actually the USA South Coach of the Year this year, so congratulations to Coach Eman. Calling a timeout, trying to get Covenant back in this game, get momentum back on their side. They still have a 1-point lead here, but all momentum is on the side of Maryville College right now. Clara Adams back to serve again. It's going to be long and out.
Good timeout by Covenant.
Yeah, you chalk that one up to the coaches. They like to get credit for that. Back to serve Chelsea Van Dyke. Van Dyke has a killer serve, though she has missed quite a few here. Floats it up well. From the outside to Del Campo with a roll shot. Skylar Moore at the front row attack. Great dig back there by number 3, Stephanie Gleason. Well, out of system, it's deep. Gleason with another dig. And we've got a double. Once again, Scott, I'm surprised. I don't think I've said Madison Coker's name yet as far as attacking the ball.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's not involved as well.
Yeah. Another great serve by Van Dyke, dug out well by Gleason. There's Coker, and that's why they keep
right on
Coker.
cue. Great finish by Coker.
I think Coach Candace Schramm maybe has is listening in on the broadcast here.
Del Campo back to serve for Maryville.
20-18, Covenant College. Well by Jacqueline Stewart. Oh, and the Skylar Moore the front row setter dump caught the Maryville College off guard. Skylar Moore likes to do that when she's front row rotation. Covenant running a 5-1. When Skylar Moore's in the front, she likes to dump it over.
Yeah, she really likes to do that with her left hand.
Yeah.
She's very athletic.
Very athletic.
Reads the game very, very well.
Back to serve. And the ball is going to hit the antenna. Once again, Covenant continuing to be aggressive. That is the name of their game on their serves, is be aggressive. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Back to serve, Yasmin Chan, number 7 for Maryville. Good knuckleball floating serve, dug out well by Hannah Stewart. Outside to Hannah Rogers with a tip. Good block there. In the middle, tipped over. And knocked around a little bit. Jenny Moore with a roll. Del Campo digs it from the back row. Outside to Holler. And that ball did not get touched. Hits the top of the tape and bounces back. That's got to be one of the hardest calls for a referee of whether that ball is touched or not. I guess that's why they got 4 of them out here.
That's right.
Try to make that. Back to serve, Jenny Moore. Jenny and Skylar Moore, twins from Fort Myers, Florida. Sophomores. Hard serve right at Del Campo. Del Campo has been returning most everything. And it's going to be a long hit. And was it touched? Was not touched.
Was not touched.
It's going to be an error by Mary Kate White. She hit it hard, but a little bit too high. Puts Covenant ahead 23-19. And as we said, live by the sword, die by the sword. I know Covenant's really been focusing on, if they're going to missing long. But that one was short and into the net. Taylor Ewell back for Maryville College. Let's see if she'll serve it at her former high school teammate, Hannah Stewart. Another interesting storyline. Ewell and Stewart 1 year ago were teammates at Chattanooga Christian High School, just down the mountain from Covenant College. Ewell decided to go to Maryville, where Stewart decided to come to Covenant. Both are seeing significant minutes and playing well for their respective teams, with a great double block there by Opgenorth and Becker. The outside. Oh, Becker with a great dig with maybe her face. Ewell with a good dig and a push to the deep corner, but Stewart's ready for it. Middle to Opgenorth, and she is stuffed by Jaycott. Hannah Rogers with a tip.
Into the net, but up.
Off the
well
net.
Done by Maryville.
Well done, yeah. Chan gets that ball. Opgenorth again, and that ball's going to be out just barely.
Just out. Big point there.
I think it was, but it was not by much. That's a big swing right there. That brings Maryville within 2 points at 23-21. Big point in the game right here. It's going to be big momentum. Number 17, Taylor Ewell. Again, Becker with a great pass. Going to go middle to Opgenorth, and she puts it down. Opgenorth, a great storyline from Opgenorth. She is a junior from Flower Mound, Texas. This is her first year playing volleyball since high school. Did not play volleyball her freshman or sophomore year at Covenant College. Let's see at the play here, and it's going to be blocked. Dug out again by Chan there. And did it get touched? I believe it did. It did get touched. Tough touch there, but that's okay. Opgenorth did not play volleyball at Covenant. A former assistant coach at Covenant College was the intramural director, saw her playing intramurals and said, you need to come out and at least play on our JV team. She came out for spring practice, made the varsity team, and now is starting as the second middle for Covenant College. It's a little miscommunication. It's going to be a back row roll from Jenny Moore. Dug out by Chan. That ball's hit well, and the referee with a little bit of indecision there, raised the flag to call it out, and then changed his mind and called it in.
Wow.
That's a tough call, though.
That was a real tough call there against Covenant, especially on game point.
Right. That ball was right at him, though, so it is a tough call when you're trying to see the ball and get out of the way.
Covenant has to keep their composure.
And Becker with a good pass there, and that's going to be blocked. Jenny Moore goes and rolls it over early on. They're going to go outside, so maybe a double, but they don't call it, but a block there. They go outside again. That's going to be a great dig by Jenny Moore. They're going to go to Van Dyke in the middle. She pushes it deep. Oh, great dig
save
by Gleason.
Yeah.
Outside to Del Campo. Oh, and she tools it off the block. Rogers and Van Dyke go for the block on the roll shot, and it tools off of it. And Maryville College, believe it or not, has tied this game up at 24.
Another timeout called by Covenant.
You see Covenant a little bit frustrated with a couple of the calls by the referees.
Yeah, I think it definitely rattled them a little bit there.
Yeah.
Had some chances, though, to put it away on that last point.
Yeah. Those of y'all who are new to volleyball, which probably none of you are, you must win by 2. So it's not just who gets the 25 first, but at this point, it's going to be who can win 2 points in a row. Or 3 points in a row, I suppose, if you're down by 1, and my math is correct. Once again, the name of the game here has been attack errors. Maryville with 9 attack errors. Covenant with only 4. So Covenant does have 4 service errors to Maryville's 3.
Good energy in game 1 here.
Yeah. Be a big point right here. I dare to say whoever wins this point will probably win this set.
Stephanie Gleason will be serving for Maryville.
Gleason, another senior on Maryville's team from nearby Knoxville, Tennessee. Maryville has quite a few local residents. Covenant's fans trying to get ahead of Gleason. Hasn't worked so far. Becker with the set. From the outside to Van Dyke. And Van Dyke leaves no doubt.
Beautiful pass, set, and spike on that particular play for Covenant.
Great timeout. Covenant disguised Van Dyke on the outside instead of her normal middle spot. And Candace Schramm calls her timeout. I think both teams have now called both timeouts.
I think that's right. Another good job with Covenant on the timeout. Came out, got that point back.
Oh.
Well done.
Once again, Becker calling her name. Maryville College is going to pick on her a lot. She's gotten some experience this year, but not much. But now she's thrust into a vital role with the injury to Jess Seahorn in the semifinal game. I believe she has a rolled ankle, will not return. Both teams at this point battling some injuries, battling some rotations. Coaches for Covenant taking the full allotted minute and 15 seconds, whereas Maryville trying to just kind of change momentum here. Both these teams, I got to imagine these girls are exhausted playing all of these games. Even if they've won in 3 or won in 4, they're still elimination games. There's so much on the line on every point.
Yeah, they've been so tight, so many two-point games through the whole tournament.
One thing about this conference, you can tell 1 through 8, all the games were close. Nobody really blew anybody out. Covenant did beat Ferrum in 3 last night, but even one of those games went to
27-25.
Overtime, I guess you can say. They're going to go outside, and it's blocked. And that's going to be the first set, ladies and gentlemen. Julia Vineyard, who's been the go-to player for Maryville, and she is stuffed by, I believe it's Becker and Van Dyke.
Great double
Becker
block.
and Van Dyke, we've said that name a couple of times. Not surprised that Maryville would go to Vineyard. She has been the go-to in the first set. Let's see what happens here between game sets 1 and sets 2. We're going to give you guys a little bit of a break, and we'll be back when it starts. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to set 2 here. The best of 5 between the Maryville College Scots and the Covenant College Scots. Tight game. Covenant College Scots able to pull out the win in set 1. 26-24, about as close as you can get in a match. The starting lineups will be very similar here. Maryville going to be looking to rebound. Both teams play pretty similar lineups without very many changes. Covenant, though, had to make some changes due to some injuries, but they're going to keep the same lineup they had in the first game here. And Maryville's going to start with Gleason serving. This was a good formula for them at the end of the game. They were able to roll off about 4 or 5 points at the end of set 1. Maryville's going to try to do the same thing to begin game 1 here. They've got Van Dyke on the outside, a little off the net and dug by Chan. Outside to Del Campo. And she cuts it across, and Becker tries to make it and hits off of her arms for the kill for Del Campo.
It's going to be important for Maryville to get a good start in this game. They were behind most game 1 there, even though they came back tied at 18-18.
Yep. Never really had a lead early in the game. Covenant really controlled the second part of the game. Maryville calling for a double on that set, but not. Del Campo again. Dug out well by Jenny Moore.
Jenny Moore.
Becker puts it over. They're going to go outside. That ball's going to be long, and it's going to be out. Once again, Maryville going back to Vineyard. Becker, a great story, freshman out of Missouri, missed the first part of the year recovering from major knee surgery that she suffered, I believe, in club volleyball. We're going to go middle with a tip, well placed. Number 23, Corey Jaycott, saw the double block, saw the opening, and just finessed it into the corner, just nestled right there on the line.
Yeah, read that very well.
Becker's going to be out. Mariah Corney coming in for Covenant. Back to serve. Number 23, Corey Jaycott. Going to be outside to Jenny Moore. She hits it hard, but it is stuffed by Coker. And was that ball touched? It was not. It's going to be out of bounds. Hitting error by Jenny Moore. Maryville College leading 3-1 here in the early going. Great crowd here tonight in Barnes Physical Education Center. They got well, Skylar Moore to Chelsea Van Dyke, hitting from the right side this time. And she's able to get the kill off the block.
Well done off the block.
Covenant's doing a good job with Van Dyke. Maryville knows that Van Dyke is the go-to person. First team all-conference for Covenant. And another service error for Covenant there. Van Dyke, I think it might be in her head a little bit right now.
Yeah, it sure seems like that. She's had a few of those, and that's uncharacteristic.
When her serve is on, it's hard to stop. Back to serve here is going to be number 22, Clara Adams. She had a nice little run herself. She's a freshman just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, I believe. And Jenny Moore coming back there. And Mariah Corney with the very delayed call there. I believe it's the correct call, but very delayed, as the ball did not actually get blocked. It hit the top of the tape and bounced back. That could be a point for Maryville. Clara Adams back again for the Scots. Jacqueline Stewart will go outside to Jenny Moore, and is blocked and dug out. And there she is, Madison Coker. This is a rotation where if Covenant's not careful, Maryville could roll off quite a few in a row. If they get a couple more, look for Coach Joanna Eamon to possibly call a timeout and try to get momentum back on their side.
Not surprising, they try to get Coker off a little quicker in this game too.
Yeah. As Coker gets going, she's hard to stop. And there's going to be a tip there. And Chan is able to get the hand under for the pancake, but Maryville did not realize that she was able to get under it. They stopped playing, and Opgenorth gets the kill with a little tip over the double block in the middle.
Skylar Moore serving for Covenant.
Covenant crowd getting into it a little bit. Into the middle there. Going to be a back row attack there by Chan. Opgenorth, and it's blocked by Coker. Coker's making her presence known in this game. Outside to Del Campo, and she hits it through the block of Rogers and Opgenorth, and Del Campo with another kill.
Good swing there by Del Campo.
Good arm speed. Seems like right now, Maryville's really feeding Del Campo, Vineyard, and Holler right now as far as getting some of the attacks. A fairly balanced attack right now. Nobody necessarily dominating, but everybody being a threat. And that's going to be Jenny Moore coming from the right side. Usually coming from the left side. She comes from the right side. Coming doing a great job of disguising where their hitters are coming from right now, trying to throw off the blocking patterns of Maryville.
Jenny Moore to serve with Covenant down 7-4.
Maybe a little confusion here on substitutions. There we go. Making sure we got everything right. And Jenny Moore in the middle. Well dug out. Maybe there it is. Wasn't sure. Going to be a lift there on the setter. Almost a very athletic play, but she wasn't quite able to use her fingertips. Got her palm underneath the ball, and that's going to be a lift every time. Almost able to get it up that way. Jenny Moore back to serve again. Another good serve at Del Campo again. Chan knocks it up and Holler. And it's going to be blocked. Double blocked there by Opka North and Rogers.
Hannah Rogers.
And Holler goes again for it. It looks like it just hit off the outside of her hand. It falls under the net. It's going to be a point for Covenant. Nice little run for Covenant College here to make it 7-6.
Yeah, a little momentum back Covenant's way.
You see it all through the game here, Scott. Going to be going back and forth, back and forth. Probably Coker here in the middle. And once again, you can know it's coming, but it's hard to stop.
That quick set to Coker, it's very similar to when Chelsea Van Dyke gets it for Covenant.
Yep.
Very, very difficult to stop.
Coker really playing well here in this tournament. I've been very impressed with her play, just her ability to really take over a game at critical times. It's going to be outside to Olivia Becker. And it's dug out by Del Campo. And number, is that Mary Kate White, I believe, number 19?
Number 19.
Finds a hole, was able to get it over or through the block and puts it down. Right inside the line, well swung right there.
Puts Maryville up 9-6.
Yasmin Chan back to serve. It's dug out by Becker, and Becker goes across. And Chan returns the favor. Del Campo with a back row attack. And Moore with the dump, but Maryville is not surprised this time, was ready for it. Going to be outside to White again. Outside to Hannah Rogers. White digs it. Back to White again. And it's going to be out. Another good arm swing by Mary Kate White, but just outside, just wide.
Hannah Stewart serving for Covenant.
That's going to be long.
That is going to be long.
Covenant struggling here with service errors. It's tough. You miss a couple of them, starts getting in your head a little bit. You don't want to take away the aggressiveness, but you also don't want to give away points. With Taylor Ewell, once again, maybe serving at her former high school teammate, Hannah Stewart here. The friends become rivals. She will serve it, but it'll be at Olivia Becker, and she is able to get it up. Back to Becker. Well struck, it's going to maybe get over, and it's going to be a back row attack. The setter for Maryville was playing back row, came to the front to try to set it, but it was so tight she actually knocked it over, and that qualifies as a back row attack. Hannah Rogers back to serve for Covenant. Nice float, back to Del Campo. Be outside to Vineyard. She pushes it deep. Looks for Covenant to go to Van Dyke. They do. Not able to get a great swing on it. Del Campo digs to Holler. Holler goes line, gets it through the block, and Hannah Rogers not quite able to get enough on it to defend it. If Maryville's getting a good set here, they've got some athletes to put the ball down.
Yeah, they sure do.
Both teams do, really. That's the name of the game. They can get them out of rotation and get them kind of playing some free balls and balls off the net. Give them a chance, but either team, when the set gets up well, most time it gets down. Gleason with a nice serve, barely clearing the net. They're going to go to Van Dyke in the middle. They get a hand on Chan. Great block there in the middle. Becker not fooled by that tip. Back to Van Dyke, and she's stuffed by number 23, Corey Jaycott, on a solo block.
Beautiful block by Jaycott.
Beautiful block. Don't see that very often.
Chan's doing a great job for Maryville, keeping plays alive. Gleason, another low set, dug out by Stewart. Out to Becker, and she's blocked, but
Skylar Moore right there. Clean it up. Skylar Moore gets a hand on the block. Back out to Becker again. Becker with another attempt, and it's tooled off the block.
Big point there for Covenant.
Vineyard and Adams went up for the block, but weren't quite able to close it. Excuse me, I think it was Jaycott and Vineyard up for the block and not quite able to close it in time, and Becker was able to tool off it for the point. Aggressive serve there by Becker. Outside to number 24, Vineyard. With a little slide, and Van Dyke's able to push it, get on top of it and find a weak spot, soft spot in the zone.
Good vision by Chelsea Van Dyke there. Find that open spot and put it away.
Olivia Becker back to serve with Maryville leading 12-10. Another deep serve. Pass by Chan. Outside to Del Campo, and it's blocked.
Blocked down.
Oh, great double block. A block assist there by Skylar Moore and Chelsea Van Dyke. And the Covenant students chanting, "You shall not pass." It's become a theme of theirs this tournament whenever a player is blocked. And a tip, interesting tip. Pushed over by Van Dyke, maybe a double, but they let it play. And number 23, Corey Jaycott goes up one-on-one with Van Dyke and gets the better of her. Hits it off the side. Becker coming out, Mariah Corney coming in for Covenant College. Back to serve Corey Jaycott for Maryville. Maryville leading 13-11 here. It's got another back and forth game.
Very similar to the first game.
You go outside to Jenny Moore, and she's blocked. Oh, Coker and Vineyard were there. Weren't quite able to penetrate the net.
Just enough to sneak through that block.
Snuck over. What? Jenny Moore does not get cheated when she goes to swing.
No, she does not.
Van Dyke gets one in. Solid serve. Out to Coker. And Coker does what she does best. Coker, another one. She does not get cheated when she goes to swing. Coming in for Maryville College, going to be number 19, Mary Kate White. Number 22, Clara Adams. Clara Adams back to serve. Key stretch in the game right here. Nobody's really taken over the match yet.
Adams had a little run in the first game too.
Did.
So
Adams, if you're Maryville College, this is a rotation you like. They're going to go Jenny Moore with the tip, and Coker not fooled by it. Del Campo with her own tip. Moore returns the favor. Jenny Moore just kind of playing free balls over here. Mary Kate White, great arm swing, dug well by Jacqueline Stewart. Blocks galore here. Nobody able to quite get a clean one.
Oh, great dig there by Hannah Stewart.
Coker really put a hurting on that one, and Stewart was able to dig it out. Coker again, and it's going to be blocked. Mariah Corney with a great dig, and Skylar Moore pushes it deep. That's a big point for Covenant College right there.
Fantastic point, both ways.
Just digs and kills and blocks and diving on the floor. Everything you want in a volleyball game, especially in a championship game here, and that gets the Covenant crowd into it here a little bit.
Big point there, makes it 14-13, still Maryville, 1 point lead.
Skylar Moore to serve. He's aggressive serve, dug out well by Gleason, going to Coker. And once again, Maryville goes back. For Maryville's sake, it's good they're getting Coker involved.
Yeah, they're going to keep going to that well.
Now she leads Maryville with 6 kills, 4 in this game. She was limited to only 2 kills in the first game on 4 attacks. Already 3 kills on 5 attacks.
Del Campo back to serve.
And the ref's going to say that ball was tipped. I'm not sure it was. Covenant might have just gotten 6 hits on that side. Out to Adams. She swings it. Another dive. They're just diving all over the place, and Covenant returns it. And go back outside to Adams. She puts another swing on it and able to hit it off the block of Ogden North. And Moore extends Maryville's lead to 16-13. Whew. A lot of scrambling going on out there. Nobody, you get to this point in the tournament, nobody's ready to be done. We're really leaving it all out there. Outside to Jenny Moore, and that ball's going to be out. Covenant thinks there was a tip. I didn't see it. And Coach Joanna Eamon's going to call a timeout. Thought Covenant might have had a little bit of momentum after that long rally, winning that point to pull within 14-13. But
Yeah, 3 straight points for Maryville.
Is that Clara Adams serving, or is that?
It is.
Yeah. Once again. I don't know. We'll see when we get back.
It may be Del Campo serving right now. I think it is. But yeah, with that getting it to 14-13, Covenant had the momentum, but a couple good points played in a row by Maryville.
We'll see what Covenant can do here. Last set, and they called their timeouts. They were able to reel off at least 2 or 3 points in a row before Maryville was able to score. I know that's what Coach Eamon's trying to do right now. Great fight in both teams. Like I said, we got familiar opponents here. The Battle of the Scots.
That's right, a Highland Classic here.
That's right. They know each other. They know each other very well. They're actually also travel partners. So when the USA South teams go to play a quad match, it's always Maryville and Covenant going. So Maryville and Covenant have watched each other play all season, so there's not many surprises. You know Covenant's going to come at you with Jenny Moore and Chelsea Van Dyke, and you know Maryville's going to come at you with Madison Corker and Julia Vineyard. Corey Jaycott's having a solid game herself, and Sophia Del Campo's getting in on the action as well.
Big time in the game here for Covenant, coming out of timeout down 4.
And once again, Maryville's a very balanced attack right now. Nobody really dominating the kills, but 3 people with at least 5, Coker, Del Campo, and Vineyard. McCorney's going to put it right over, and White is able to, he wanted to put it down. It bounced off the net, but almost created sort of a changeup that threw the Covenant defense off. Covenant urging each other on to get 1 point back and get some momentum back in their favor. That ball is going to be out, but it's played anyways out to Jenny Moore. And that ball is going to be out. Once again, another close call. Close call, but it was out. Covenant switching around their defensive rotation. Del Campo is on a little bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, she sure is. 19-13.
And a little dump. Once again, Maryville not surprised by that. Mary Kate White. And that ball's off the tip. And Coach Joanna Eamon's going to call another timeout. So the first timeout did not work. We're going to try again here with another one. Covenant's stuck in a rotation right now. They're a little confused. They're not able to get the block up, and Maryville is really taking advantage of that. A lot of times when folks go on runs for Covenants when Van Dyke is out of the game, and that's what's happening right now. They're stuck in a rotation.
Yeah, they get a little run like that, takes the crowd out a little bit.
Yeah, and it's tough. Maryville College leading 20-13. There's not a whole lot of points left. Both teams do a good job of coming back and fighting back, but eventually you run out of points.
Del Campo.
Still serving.
Still serving for Maryville.
There you go, that's well dug out. And then you go outside to Jenny Moore. That's well dug by Del Campo into the stands. Who's that, number 22, Clara Adams goes diving into the front row of stands, but unable to return it back. Covenant's going to need to go on a little bit of a roll there. Great job by Sophia Del Campo, really putting the pressure on Covenant College to return some serves. They were not able to do it very well. Del Campo digs out the serve out to Mary Kate White with an attack. It's going to be long. Hannah Stewart lets it go, and it's going to be long for a point for Covenant. So a quick 2-point run here by Covenant College to pull within 20-15.
Good vision there by Hannah. It was close, but saw it correctly.
It's served by Jenny Moore. Well, there by Holler, going to go back outside to Holler. And a nice block tip there by Rogers and Opka North. Back to Opka North. And she confuses the defense, able to go around the block and find a hole and puts it down just like that. A 3-point run for Covenant College. Getting the crowd a little bit back into it. And that's going to be a service ace by Jenny Moore. And Candace Schramm, I would not be surprised if she gets a timeout here in a couple of points.
She's cheering them up, but not ready to call the timeout yet. Jenny Moore, little run of her own like Del Campo, just what Covenant needed to answer.
And I think I'm going to, whatever Candace Schramm thinks is right, I'm going to go ahead and say she knows what she's talking about. And she does.
And she does.
She's been the head coach at Maryville College for 30 years. In fact, she has been the coach at Maryville College longer than Joanna Eman, the head coach at Covenant College, has been alive. So a little fast fact of the day. So who am I to argue with her about whether she should call a timeout or not? Chan back to serve for Maryville College. It's going to be deep. Might have gone out. Becker plays it with the hands. Jenny Moore plays it deep, dug by Del Campo. They go outside to Mary Kate White, and it's blocked. It's
beautiful
stuffed.
Block there.
Becker and
Upgenorth.
A great job coming out.
And that gets Chelsea Van Dyke back into the game.
The Covenant's going to make a run. This is usually the rotation that they make a run on. Stewart serving, Van Dyke in the front. They're going to go up top to 23, which is Corey Jaycott, and she's actually going to be in the net.
And now we get a timeout from Maryville.
I believe it was called in the net. If it wasn't in the net, then it was just a straight block, double block there. Now Candace Schramm calls her first timeout of the game, of the set.
21-19, Maryville still with the 2-point lead, but much more doable for Covenant here.
Yeah, Covenant's really made a game of it here. What do we have, 20-13, and now it's up to 21-19. So volleyball, more than just about any sport, is such a game of momentum here.
Yeah, it really is.
You get on a little run, you get a little confidence, start playing a little bit more relaxed.
Especially for Covenant getting the crowd back in.
Yep. As I said, these two teams know each other very well. Head coach Joanna Eman for Covenant College sees Candace Schramm as a mentor type of figure for her. Candace has been a great teacher and instructor for a long time, and even a teacher and instructor for other coaches. And so they have a great relationship. So it's kind of a friendly rivalry, though both schools are itching to win. Both teams are glad that the other one is in the final. I could see them in the semifinal games cheering for each other. It's very familiar. Hannah Stewart back to serve for the Scots. And she gets a good serve, and they're going to go outside to Mary Kate White. And that ball's going to be just barely in. Covenant argues a little bit, but I do believe that ball was in.
I do think it hit the line as well, Ben.
I think it was. We don't have the best angle here at center court, but I do believe it caught the line.
Yep.
Very tough to tell. I do not envy their job one bit. But he obviously had a better view than anybody else here today. So
Taylor Ewell back to serve for Maryville.
Tight set. Oh, and Van Dyke goes deep, and it's going to be right on another one. And Maryville's going to protest this one. Fell right in front of Maryville's bench. Once again, I cannot tell if that ball hits a line or not. I know it is right there. And the referee was right on it. So argue what you want, but I guess they've evened out. And it's
Game
gonna be
continues.
22-20. That's going to be a little tip there, dug out by Hannah Rogers. We're going to go to Van Dyke in the middle. And Chan with a great attempt, but I don't know if it matters who you are. If the ball's hit that hard and that low, that ball I think was going to hit in front of the 10-foot line. Chan to even be there was incredible.
That's coming down in a hurry.
Not quite able to get it up. Hannah Rogers with a good serve. They go outside to Holler, and it's going to be blocked, solo blocked by Skylar Moore. Outside again to Holler. She plays the tip. Chelsea Van Dyke's able to block it. Free balling it over here. Probably going to go back to Van Dyke, and they do. And Chan with an incredible one-handed, just sticks her hand up and is able to dig it. Back to Van Dyke again. Not able to get a good hit on it. Pushing, they're going outside. Number 24. Vineyard, and it's stuffed. Back row attack by Del Campo. Van Dyke with the dig.
Nicely by Chelsea Van Dyke.
They're going to go back row to Jenny Moore. Dug out by Chan.
Chan again.
Saying Chan's name over and over again. Dug by Hannah Rogers. Outside to Livy Becker. And she is stuffed.
Julia Vineyard stepping up big there at the end of that point.
Vineyard and Jaycott. That's a tough duo to get past.
Back and forth point there. Another great point this late in the game.
Yeah, good momentum changer there for Maryville College. That's a big difference there between 23-21 and 22-22. Covenant crowd trying to get the Lady Scots back into it.
Stephanie Gleason back to serve for Maryville.
It's been a good combination for Maryville. They go outside to Van Dyke. And she's blocked once again. Vineyard and dug out well by Gleason. Going outside to Del Campo, and it's blocked. But caught back up. The dump over. Outside, Skylar Moore. That's interesting. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's Skylar Moore to Jenny Moore, but that time it was Jenny Moore to Skylar Moore, and Skylar's able to find a hole in the defense. Gets knocked around a little bit.
Effective either way.
Yeah.
Again, another tight game, 23-22.
Yeah. You can tell a lot of timeouts here to get the floor dry, as bodies are flying everywhere here in the USA South Championship volleyball game. With Covenant leading 1-0, 1 set to 0. I believe that's what they call it these days. But Maryville College leading this tight match 23-22.
Olivia Becker will be back to serve for Covenant.
Maryville with probably going to look to, and Candace Schramm's going to call her second timeout right here, it looks like. Wants to stop momentum before it gets going.
A couple of really good points there, Ben, in the last few rallies.
Very impressed with Chan. If Chan was not the opening day libero, I'd hate to see their starting libero, because she has, if she's a fill-in, she has filled in quite admirably.
She's done fantastic.
Always in the right place in the right time. Able, it seems like every ball that's at her, she's able to get it up somehow or some way. Kind of comes down here at the end of who wants it more, who can execute the game plan. I said no real surprises between these two teams. Nobody's going to do anything different. It's going to be strength against strength, and just kind of say, hey, you know who we're going to, we know who you're going to, who can block it, who can be in the right defense, or who can come around it and make a play here. Maryville with 4 seniors on their roster. Covenant with 4 seniors on their roster. Good balance on both teams. Not too senior heavy, although Covenant does rely upon a couple of their seniors, namely Van Dyke, for quite a few points. But Rogers and Stewart have played vital roles as well. Gleason playing a good defensive role and serving role, and Coker obviously for Maryville. That ball's going to just squeak over the net and dug by Del Campo. Going back out to Del Campo, rolled over. They're going to go, and that's a tough time to have a double for Skylar Moore.
Tough timing there.
Yep, it happens.
Maryville 1 point away.
It happens. That's a tough time to lose it. Covenant looked like they were set up to maybe tie the game at 23. And Corey Jaycott's going to be in the back row here for Maryville College to try to finish the game out. Good serve there to Jacqueline Stewart, going to be in the middle to Van Dyke. And she just is able to kind of tip it over. This is going to be interesting. Van Dyke has missed a few serves.
Yeah.
See if she
pressure
goes
on her here, see how she responds.
See if she goes big or if she goes safe. When she goes big and she gets it, it's hard to return. She goes relatively big, and the ball's going to fall. A little bit of miscommunication on the part of Maryville College, and this game is tied 24-24.
Big time to have a little communication breakdown there from Maryville. Good serve by Chelsea Van Dyke.
See what she goes with here. She goes with another good floating serve to Del Campo. Great pass, though, and what do you guess who? Coker. Oh, and she's able, and the referee's going to say that the ball hit the antenna. I believe it did. Great effort by Chelsea Van Dyke to get that tip. Coker usually goes up and swings it, but she saw a hole and tipped it. Van Dyke went for the dive, was not quite able to get it in bounds.
Yeah, got it up left-handed, but just, like you said, off that antenna.
Back to Clara Adams to serve. This is going to be a game point here for Maryville College at 25-24. Once again, another close match. Dug by Jacqueline Stewart, going to go outside to Jenny Moore. And she's stuffed, so it's kind of deja vu, except vice versa. The first set ended on a block. The second set ends on a block. But we're tied here, 1 game apiece.
As tight as these have been, Ben, wouldn't be surprised at all if we go to 5.
Yeah. Well, like I said, first match, 26-24 Covenant. Second set, 26-24 Maryville. Both finishing on blocks. Both about as tight as you can get with games. This third game could decide who wins and who's going to be runner-up. Wouldn't be surprised both teams fight hard regardless of this game, but this is obviously a big game for both teams.
Big game.
Tired, they're worn out. And we'll be right back here for the start of set number 3 here in about 2 minutes. And we're back here at Barnes Physical Education Center for the USA South Volleyball Championship game between the Maryville College Scots and the Covenant College Scots. Set number 3 about to get underway, and we are as close as can be. Covenant College winning set number 1, 26-24. Maryville College winning set number 2, 26-24. No lineup changes for Covenant College, same rotations coming through. We do have a change, however, for Maryville College. Looks like Yasmin Chan has taken off the libero jersey, and Caitlin Flickinger has put on the libero jersey. This may be Flickinger's first game in quite some time. I don't know how long it's been since she's been out, and I'm not sure what the reason for the change is. I don't know if Chan is injured. She's got to be tired, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she's definitely done the work.
Yeah, all over the floor. So Caitlin Flickinger, a sophomore DS out of nearby Knoxville, Tennessee, is going to take over as libero this game for Maryville College. Other than that, we've got a similar lineup here with Vineyard, Ewell, Jaycott, Gleason, and Del Campo. And they pick on Flickinger right away, and she's up to the task. Once again, the reverse more-to-more connection, and it's blocked. Vineyard and Jaycott and Del Campo. Like we said, Jaycott's name, was it Jaycott?
It was.
Was Jaycott? Okay.
Yep, and she goes back to serve.
There she is, okay. Jaycott, Vineyard, and Del Campo have been quite a force on the blocking side right now. Hannah Stewart going to go middle to Olivia Becker with a nice little tip. Gleason tries to get the hand underneath, but not quite able to. As you can hear, all the way from up here, the skin sliding across the gym floor. You know both these teams are giving everything they've got here. Olivia Becker back to serve. Good hard serve at Gleason. Oh, wow, and that's an incredible dig out. Oh, not quite. 2 dives, the ball off the net. Skylar Moore slides under to try to pop it over. She's able to, but not quite able to keep it between the white lines.
Just wide.
In is going to come Mary Kate White and number 22, Clara Adams. Maryville not afraid to make substitutions.
Clara Adams, again, doing a good job serving in both the first 2 games. Put her right back in there for some more.
In fact, NCAA Division III rules only allow 15 substitutions, and Maryville College actually ran out of substitutions yesterday in a close game that was going back and forth, and I believe it was Stephanie Gleason, the 5-foot senior DS, ended up having to play front row. No problem for Maryville College. Madison Coker also happened to be in the front row, and she just took over the game, so was not a problem. And Del Campo with great vision there. Sees the weak spot in the defense and is able just to basically set it over the net, just cutting off the net there.
Good vision again.
It's a danger sometimes with a double block. You leave a spot open if the other team's able to find it. Put the pressure on them to find it. Stewart again with trouble a little bit, making that. Moore barely gets over. White gets it back to White. And she's blocked by Van Dyke and dump. And Van Dyke bats it back over. And Gleason's back there. Van Dyke with another piece of it, but not quite able to keep it over. And that's going to be a point for Maryville College as they jump out to an early 4-1 lead.
Game 3 really important.
Yep. I think it's the 3rd game in a row Maryville's jumped out early. Covenant was able to get back, I believe, 9-9 in the first set and kind of control the rest of the game. Maryville College controlled most of the game, the second match. And there's the matchup we're looking for. Van Dyke and Coker. Advantage Coker right there with the solo block going straight down.
5-1 to Maryville.
Man, Clara Adams with the ball into the net. Don't see that. Maybe the first time we've seen that from her today.
Covenant takes a bit of a deep breath. They needed that there.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a momentum changer. Ball, service error, easy points. You have to go back row to Gleason. Van Dyke with the kill, with the dig. And Opgenorth tools out the block, and Flickinger with an incredible effort. But the ball is not able to, she was horizontal to the floor there, I believe. Laid out completely, but not quite able to bring it back into play. And it goes into the Covenant student section. I believe one of the painted bodies probably got some body paint on that ball. Another good serve by Van Dyke going out to Del Campo. She rolls again. Del Campo's kind of gone finesse a few times here, but it's been effective. Seems to be Maryville's strategy right now.
Yeah, Mary Kate White with another just
Yeah.
dink over the net, falls straight to the floor.
Once again, some of these big hitters, you feel like they're going to really bring it back. All these girls from Maryville, great arm swings, very technically sound, but they'll take what you give them. You go with a double block and you're not ready for the tip, they'll make you pay for it. Once again, Flickinger laying out for a dig. Not quite quick enough, though. Jenny Moore able to get one by the block.
Jenny Moore taking a good angle there.
Yeah.
That was really tough to bring back.
Back to serve is going to be Skylar Moore for the Covenant College. Nice floater. Picking on Flickinger here. Outside to Holler. Dug by Mariah Corney. Go outside. The Moore-to-Moore connection. And we've got a net by, I believe,
net on Maryville.
Maybe Mary Kate White.
I think that's right.
That's my best guess. It's hard to tell. I know the referee gave me a number, but not sure what it was.
I think that's what he called. 6-5 Maryville.
Skylar Moore with another aggressive serve. They're kind of picking on Flickinger here, making sure she's up to par, having been. And Hannah Rogers just wide.
Just wide.
Good arm swing, good angle, just wide. So Flickinger back to serve. A 7-5 game here. Now Corney to Skylar Moore, to Jenny Moore, to Mary Kate White. They're batting it back and forth, see if somebody can get a ball to put down, and that's hit off the block. Another block by Jaycott. And Mary Kate White brings it. Mariah Corney not quite able to get enough of it as the ball tips off her arm. Is going to result in the Maryville College point. Maryville, nice little 2-point run to extend their lead back to 8-5. Good pass there, and it's going to be a dump. Oh, and that's just a beautiful spot. Skylar Moore puts it. Scott, I know you're a soccer coach. That's about the equivalent of an upper 90 there.
That was beautiful.
In the back right corner. Just pushes it over. Sophia Del Campo with a great effort going after it, but not quite able to get there.
Again, when Covenant really needed it, 8-5, little momentum in Maryville's favor, and Skylar Moore comes up with a really, really important shot.
Yeah, and she'll do that. Look for that when Covenant needs a point, needs to stop a run or get on a run, and she's the setter. She's playing in the front row. A lot of times she'll try to do it herself, either by a sneaky tip or an attack on the second pass or on a deep pass, deep push like she did right there. Jaycott in the middle. She's going to tip. A great diving stop by Jenny Moore. And confusion, but Covenant's able to get it over. They're going to go back row to Del Campo, and they push it deep to Skylar Moore. So Jenny Moore to Olivia. Back. So a lot of you outside to Holler. Dug out well by Jenny Moore. Outside to Olivia Beckwith, and that ball's tipped and dug by Del Campo. Out to Holler again. Another tip. Got to notice a theme here, it seems like. Covenant's going up with 2 blocks. Maryville's content with finding a hole in there. If they go up with 1 block, they're hammering it. So it's a tough dilemma for Covenant. Do you double block or do you single block? So they are pretty close on getting a lot of these tips, so maybe it's just a slight adjustment. Taylor Ewell back to serve for Maryville College.
Long point there, won by Maryville.
Levy with a deep roll. Del Campo with another good dig. Out to Holler again. And that ball, a little bit of miscommunication. Hannah Stewart probably could have had it, but better safe than sorry. Skylar Moore goes after it and Taylor hits off her arms, and just like that, Maryville College extends their lead back up to a comfortable 10-6 lead. Taylor Ewell back to serve. Floats it at Olivia Becker. And that ball is put down by, I didn't see it, I was looking
Jenny Moore.
Jenny Moore.
Yep. Again, very important point there for Covenant.
Yeah.
Gets it to 3 points instead of 5.
Campo with the return. Outside to Holler, and she is blocked.
Block.
The two seniors for Covenant College, Hannah Rogers and Chelsea Van Dyke, prompting another chant of "You Shall Not Pass" from the Covenant College student section. Give a quick shout out to Chelsea Van Dyke's parents who are watching in Montana. Ooh, a fall that is once again oh so close, but just barely off the end line for Hannah Stewart. That's going to put Maryville College's lead back up to 11-8. Chelsea Van Dyke from Manhattan, Montana. Not very close to Covenant College, so I'm sure her parents are listening here, so say a big hello to them.
Not Covenant's normal recruiting ground, but
no.
They sure are happy she's been here for 4 years.
No. And there she is, but she's not quite able to get it over. I don't think it was blocked. I believe it just hit the net. Either way, the result is a point for Maryville College. Van Dyke is second on Covenant's all-time kills list. She got that record this year. Back row to Jenny Moore, and she just looked like she was going to go cross court, and almost at the last second hit it on the outside of her hand and went down the line and just froze Caitlin Flickinger. Flickinger thought she was on it, and then she wasn't. Great shot there by
She has the ability to do that because she can hang in the air a while.
She can.
Great athletic ability there.
Flickinger gets it up there, outside to Del Campo. Little tip. See where they're going to go here, outside to Becker. I believe there was a tip. They stay with it. A lot of tips going on here on both sides. Sometimes those tips are great keeping the ball up, and sometimes like that, you actually steal it from a teammate. Jenny Moore not able to control it, knocks off her arms. Maryville back up to a 4-point lead at 13-9.
Jaycott back to serve for Maryville.
And Coker once again gets the best of Van Dyke there and blocks it. A little bit of confusion there between Gleason and Jaycott in the back row. Jaycott does pretty well back there in the back row for a middle, though it's not her normal place to play. So Flickinger will come back in here as the libero. Becker back to serve for Covenant. The long serve and another service error for Covenant College.
Takes that lead back to 4 again.
Covenant's 7th service error so far this match. Maryville College with only 4.
Mary Kate White and Clara Adams re-entering the game for Maryville. Adams will be back to serve.
Trying to make sure our substitutions are correct here. A little bit of confusion here. Almost a little mini timeout. Don't know if this is going to benefit either team necessarily, but a little stoppage in play as we figure out who subbed for who. And still working on getting the scorebook straightened out here. Maryville College holds a 14-10 lead.
I would say a crucial juncture in the game right here, Ben. 14-10. They get another couple of points up. It's going to be really difficult for Covenant to respond, although, as you've said earlier, they're going to work their tails off to try to bring it back no matter what it takes.
Yeah. We're still waiting to hear here. Working on making sure that they get it right. Said almost a quasi timeout here as both coaches are talking to individual players here. I think we've got it all straightened out here. Not sure what the problem was, but everybody says we're good to go.
Good to
Still
go.
14-10, so
back to action.
It's a little break there. Adams back to serve for Maryville College. To Stewart. We go outside to Jenny Moore. She's going to just push and roll, almost like she hung in the air and just gave a little drop shot right over the block as the block was coming down, so nobody could get to it. Finds the soft spot in the zone again. brings Covenant back to 14-11. Chelsea Van Dyke back to serve for the Scots. Solid serve. Claire Adams gets him back a little bit, and Coker decides to go ahead and have a hit at it. A little bit out of rotation there, but she was able to put it down. Very athletic play there.
Definitely.
Not a great set, well off the net, but she put a great swing on it and found a hole there, found the seam.
Shrugs her shoulders, big smile on her face.
It's all right. That works.
She'll take it.
Jacqueline Stewart able to get the ball up there and go outside to Jenny Moore. And she's able to find that spot again, going cross court around the block. Pull Covenant with
Covenant can break that string of getting one back and then giving one up.
Yep.
It's been 3, then 4, then 3, then 4.
Little back and forth here the last few points.
That's right.
Skylar Moore with a solid serve there in the middle. There you go, middle to Coker, and she swings it. They're looking for a tip, but there was none, and it's going to be wide. Don't see that very much from Coker. Might be her first error of the day. I believe it is. That's her first error of the match. Usually she's ready to go right back to her. And once again, they find that soft spot in the zone. They bring 2 blockers up, and that front right is open if they can find it. And they've been able to find it. Maryville done a great job this game of finding that soft spot, finding some tips, and just taking advantage of what the defense gives them. That's the name of the game. Not afraid to hit it if it's there, not afraid to tip it if it's there. Very balanced attack by this Maryville College volleyball team. Very impressive. Can't really key on one person as they really spread the wealth around. Dug out by Jenny Moore. They're going to go back to Jenny Moore. It's off the block, and Del Campo is able to dig. Going to go outside to Holler, and Flickinger is able to give it back. They're just going to free ball it over. Hannah Stewart going to go to Opka North, and Opka North puts it down. Jaycott goes up with her, but Opka North is able to put it past her and put it down just outside the 10-foot line.
Couple of key points there for Covenant.
Maryville College with a very balanced attack. Mary Kate White right now with 8 kills. Madison Coker with 7. Sophia Del Campo with 7. Nia Holler with 6. And Julia Vineyard with 5. Haven't heard much from Vineyard since game 1, but she's always a threat. That's going to hit off the ceiling, and that's going to create a problem. They're able to get it back over. And Opka North off the block, a little bit behind her. Mary Kate White on the outside, and she goes to block it, and it's blocked, and the ball's going to fall.
Great block there by
block.
Becker and Rogers.
Covenant with a fairly balanced attack. Chelsea Van Dyke with 9 kills. Jenny Moore with 6. Morgan Opka North with 6. And Olivia Becker with 4. The Covenant is a little bit more reliant upon Jenny Moore and Chelsea Van Dyke for their points, whereas Maryville can spread it around a little bit. Either way, it's a close game. That was almost on the net there. And Opka North again. If it works once, why not try it again? Once again, off the block of Jaycott. Jaycott done a great job of blocking this game, but Opka North has gotten the best of her these last 2 points. Incredibly hard to block. You get a quick set in the middle like that. It's all timing.
Another big serve from Jenny Moore.
Jenny Moore not afraid to let it rip from the back line there. Covenant goes up for the block. Morgan Opka North not quite able to penetrate over the net, and it hits harmlessly off her hands and falls to the floor. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, surprise, surprise. We have a 1-point game, 17-16, Maryville College leading.
These ladies are working so hard on both sides of the net. It's really great to watch.
Taylor Ewell back to serve for Maryville College. Going after Olivia Becker. That's a great effort by Skylar Moore, coming all the way across the court to dive for it. Another great effort there by Hannah Stewart. Jenny Moore from the back row lets it fly. Going to get over. Blocked back and forth. Who's it going to go to? Jenny Moore in the back row again. Del Campo digs it from the back row. We go outside to Holler. And Holler is going to be long, and it's going to be tipped, though. There's going to be a tip. The Covenant fans are not very happy about it, but I do believe there was a tip. It was called right away by the back judge, and I believe it right in front of the head referee, so hard to argue with that one. So the Covenant students have no problem disagreeing with it. Go outside to Becker. She hits it off the off the tape. Almost another change up there. Del Campo from the back row, a little free ball over. Gonna see if Opka North. And Opka North again. Opka North has taken this game over in the front row. That's 3 kills. And Covenant brings back in Chelsea Van Dyke, though it's hard to see Opka North go off the court. 3 kills in the last 4 points.
She's done a great job. Timing's right there. Beautiful job.
There's Stewart back to serve. Looks like they're going to go back row to Del Campo. The roll, dug by Hannah Stewart. Back row to Jenny Moore, and that ball's going to be in once again. Another upper 90 shot right on the line, right at the feet of the back judge. And with that, Candace Schramm is going to call a timeout as Covenant College has tied the score 18-18.
That was a bit of a seeing eye.
Yes.
Little baseball reference. Ben Wharton, who's with me today, is the assistant coach for the Covenant College men's baseball team. And he's doing a great job of calling this game objectively with his lovely wife, the assistant coach for Covenant College on the volleyball side.
Appreciate that shout out. I'm sure she will too.
(18-18), game 3. Not surprising at all. Games 1 and 2.
That's some updated
26-24, both ways.
Stats for you. Coker leading Maryville College in kills with 9. Holler with 8. Mary Kate White with 8. Sophia Del Campo with 7. Jenny Moore actually leading Covenant with 12. Sorry, my stats had not updated when I gave you the earlier ones. She's really come on strong this second game. Chelsea Van Dyke with 9 and Morgan Opka North with 9 as well. Big surprise for Covenant College with Opka North really stepping up. Hannah Stewart scrapes it across the tape. They're going to go to Jaycott, sorry. And Van Dyke's going to put it down. But Flickinger is able to get it. He's going to go deep, and that's like
a little confusion again on the Maryville side.
Oh, wow. Not sure exactly what happened here. There's some confusion. Covenant College thought that Maryville might have hit it 4 times, but not quite. And Maryville College comes away with kind of a free point there. A very strange play.
It was a little bit odd there, Ben. Stephanie Gleason back to serve for Maryville.
19-18 Maryville College. Picking on Becker again. And that ball went around the antenna. Van Dyke with a good effort there on the scorer's table, but not quite able to control it. Would be surprised if Gleason goes right back at Becker here. But now she goes to the middle of Jenny Moore. They're going to go to Chelsea Van Dyke, who hangs and is able to find a hold. Stephanie Gleason with a great effort there, but not quite able to get it up enough. Hits off the net, falls harmlessly to the ground. Hannah Rogers here with Covenant College trailing 20-19.
Good tension in the building.
Yeah. Outside to Sophia Del Campo off the net. Dug out by Hannah Stewart. Going to go outside to Olivia Becker. It's going to be tipped, and looks like Maryville College is going to be in the net. Number 24, Julia Vineyard. Got a little too close to the net with that block, and the down referee is going to call that in the net, which is going to tie this game up at 20-20. Here we go again, Scott.
Yeah. Covenant hasn't had a lead in this game for a long time, so we'll see what happens here at this point.
Yeah, Rogers, another good aggressive serve. Covenant staying aggressive on the serve. Del Campo with the back row, tipped on the block. We're going to go middle to Van Dyke, and she goes one-on-one with Jaycott and is able to tool it off the hands for the lead. Covenant takes its first lead, maybe of the game, if not in a long time.
Covenant taking advantage with Coker not in the game right now.
True.
That's a bit of an advantage for Van Dyke versus Jaycott.
Hannah Rogers tugging the line, might have been out. And Vineyard comes up big there. Haven't called her name as far as kills since really the first set. And now Maryville brings Madison Coker back into the game. This could get very interesting. You've got Van Dyke in the front row, and you've got Coker in the front row. The big guns for both teams. I have a feeling most of the sets are going to go that way the rest of this game while they stay in the front. And Corey Jaycott is going to be back to serve for Maryville College here, knotted at 21. Once again, we have some confusion with the scorebook. Not sure what the problem is. I think they've got it figured out. A little break in the action. Back to Corey Jaycott. 21-21. Covenant crowd getting into it here a little bit. And the crowd would like to take credit for that one as Jaycott serves it into the net.
Yeah, Maryville's coach is unhappy with that.
Yeah.
Looking to the score table there with a
see if Becker can
discern.
respond. Becker can respond here. She goes aggressive as well. They're going to go to Coker. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. She puts it down. Again, Coker, if she sees one blocker, she is swinging. If she sees two, she's been finding some holes. She saw one-on-one with Van Dyke, and she was able to get around it, find the hole in the zone, and put it down with some authority. Coming into the game is going to be number 22, Clara Adams. Coming out, Julia Vineyard. Adams back to serve. She's been one of their most consistent servers this match so
really
far.
has.
This is a crucial point in the game, 22-22. Every point matters, but these ones matter a little bit more, it seems like. Good serve. Jenny Moore gets it out. They're going to go back outside to Moore. She hits it. Gleason digs. Outside to Del Campo. Oh, and that's going to be two hits. Van Dyke with the solo block. That comes up huge.
Big block by
Wow.
Chelsea Van Dyke there. Chelsea goes back to serve. Important time in the game again.
And it looks like Candace Schramm is going to call, I believe, second time out of the game here. 23-22. As we said, these two teams could not be closer matched in this game, I don't believe. Covenant winning the first one, 26-24. Maryville College winning the second set, 26-24. And here we are in set three, 23-22, Covenant's advantage.
Very easily back to 26-24
Right.
or even higher
more.
than that.
Would not surprise me if this game goes to 5, and even if it goes past 15-5.
Yeah.
Get some free volleyball in today.
These girls are really playing hard for every single point.
I said they've got to be exhausted. They played, Maryville College played at noon today. Covenant College played at 2. Maryville College winning in 3 over Averett University. Covenant College winning in 4 over Meredith College. Both very close matches, very tense, a lot of close points. What you want, like I said, everything you want in a championship game we've had. Great defense, great offense. Van Dyke to serve, and it's going to be very long.
Way out.
Once again, staying aggressive, just Covenant's mentality. But didn't really leave a chance on that one. About halfway between the inline of the volleyball court and the inline of the basketball court. So now Sofia Del Campo here with a crucial point, 23-23 here in this match. They're going to go at Jenny Moore. And Jenny Moore goes for the dump.
Oh, and Skylar Moore again.
Skylar Moore for the dump. As I said, a key point. Watch out, Skylar Moore's in the front row. She'll try to do it.
Caught Maryville a little bit unaware. Went quick with it, and Skylar now has a chance to serve it out.
We'll see how aggressive she goes. Covenant's missed a few here. I'd be surprised if she doesn't go aggressive.
I think it would be against their nature for her not to go aggressive.
And she does. Flickinger is able to get it up. They go outside to Holler. And there's a double block on there, but it's through the block. Ochsenorth and Rogers get up there, get a hand on it. But Holler really put something on it. And here we go again.
24-24.
Same place
back
we've
to
been.
serve.
Caitlin Flickinger filling in at libero this game. Did not play in match 1 or 2. And man, maybe some of the rust there as she hits it. Almost snuck over the tape, but would not quite climb over. Out for Covenant comes Mariah Corney, and in comes Olivia Becker.
Jenny Moore serving. 25-24 Covenant.
Once again, I have a feeling they're going to be aggressive. Maybe try to win it with an ace. She does go aggressive. And she does.
And my partner Ben calls it an ace for Jenny Moore.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed the theme here, it's 26-24. The Covenant fans are going crazy. There is one more set. 2-1. Here in the USA South Championship game, Covenant College just won set 3, 26-24 to put them up 2-1, and our best of 5 matchup. And we'll be back here in about 2 minutes, get you up to speed. And we are back here at the Barnes Physical Education Center on the campus of Covenant College here in Lookout Mountain, Georgia, for the USA South Championship volleyball match between the Scots of Covenant College and the Scots of Maryville College. Scott, these games are pretty much as close as could possibly be through 3 games.
It's amazing. All 3 games going 26-24.
Covenant College coming up victorious in sets 1 and 3. Maryville College coming up victorious in set number 2. Maryville College is going to stick with Flickinger as their libero.
Yeah, Chan is now
Chan
just dressed in a T-shirt, so she must have picked up some type of injury, I would guess, in those first 2 games.
She was playing well. Very impressed with her play.
She really was all over the court.
Really impressed with everybody out here. There's all these girls are giving everything they've got. They are laying out for the ball. They are covering balls there's no way they should be getting to. They're not yelling at each other when things get bad. But very impressed with the sportsmanship from both teams, the enthusiasm, the attitude of both teams. Really everything we're looking for in a Division III athlete. Summed up here in this game, I believe.
I couldn't agree more, Ben.
The back to serve, Stephanie Gleason. This has been the order that they've started here whenever they've served. Gleason back to serve. Hannah Stewart. Ball going to go back row attack to Jenny Moore, and that ball is going to be way out. Went big from the back row and was not quite able to get on top, and it sailed well out of bounds. Becker pushes it deep. Gleason is there, not a problem. Going to go outside to Del Campo. Dug well by Jenny Moore. Outside to Becker, a little bit off. And that ball is blocked. Maybe solo by Jaycott.
I think it was.
Vineyard was in the area, but it might have just been Jaycott that got it, and it went straight down. Once again, Maryville College jumps out to a 2-0 lead. I believe they've been up at least 2 points at the beginning of every game so far, every set so far. Gleason goes short. Very effective. Van Dyke finds a hole.
I think that ball might have caught the line.
I think the Covenant fans think it did. I'm not so sure the Maryville College fans thought it did.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
Again, though, no complaint out of Maryville's bench.
Yeah.
Let's do a good job of just playing the next point. Yeah. It's great to see.
And Coker hits it off the tape, pops it up. Jenny Moore a little bit out of sync there, but able to get a good swing on it. Back outside to Vineyard with a tip. Skylar Moore covering well. We go back outside to Jenny Moore. She tips it herself to tip it back and forth. We go back to Sophia Del Campo. She hits it
off the block of Skylar Moore.
Not quite able to close it between Skylar Moore and Chelsea Van Dyke, and Del Campo just kind of snuck it through. Didn't hit it real hard, but found the right spot. Able to tool it off the block.
Jaycott back to serve for Maryville. Up 3-1.
Finds Jacqueline Stewart. They're going to find Chelsea Van Dyke. It's going to be a tight set.
Left-handed. Switches up hands to get that done.
Incredibly athletic. In the air, went up with the right, switched to the left, and just found a hole. That's almost Jordan-esque against the Lakers. Up with the right and then down with the left.
Nice reference.
Thank you.
Nice reference.
Vineyard, that's going to be blocked. Blocked well, but blocked out of bounds by Jenny Moore and Morgan Opgenorth.
Once again, a good swing by Julia Vineyard there.
Yeah, Vineyard coming back. Yeah. Played a really great, solid set number 1. Some other players stepped up in 2 and 3. I wonder if they'll go back to Vineyard here in set 4. Maryville tends to go with whoever has the hot hand, and they've got plenty to go around. Very balanced offensive attack for the Maryville College Scots.
Adams back to serve.
Covenant's going to go to Opgenorth, try to keep it going, but is blocked well by Coker. Dug out well. Jenny Moore tries to find a hole, but it's knocked up by Clara Adams. Mary Kate White rolls it over. Going to go back out to Jenny Moore. And Jenny Moore finds a hole. The Moore-to-Moore connection. They seem to kind of know where each other are just about at all times. They can go with the high sets. They can go with the quick sets.
They've done that a few times, Ben.
I think so. Skylar Moore back to serve, number 3 for Covenant College. Both Moore twins, only sophomores. Both first-team all-conference selections, along with Chelsea Van Dyke for Covenant College. And once again, just as in the last game, a little bit of confusion on where the setter was on that, and it's going to fall down, and we're tied up here, knotted at 4-4. Skylar Moore with another aggressive serve.
Tips the net on the way by.
Outside to Del Campo with the, once again, finding the soft spot there. Really impressed with Maryville's ability to take what the defense gives them. If there's a double block, they're not usually trying to hit it through it with power. They're just trying to find a hole, and they've been very successful with that. Very few errors on their tips. Jenny Moore goes for the hit, wanting a tip and gets
Getting it.
Not a whole lot of argument from Maryville. I didn't see it, but not much argument from Maryville College.
It was hit very hard.
Yeah. Great, once again, very little argument from either side on some of these close calls. Really great sportsmanship. Like I said, everything you really want in a game. Going to go to Coker. Might have been going out. Skylar Moore couldn't take that chance. Tries to jump up and just get a hand on it, but not quite. She's 5'7". Had she been 5'8", maybe 5'9", she could have gotten it, but not quite. Flickinger back to serve. Dug out by Hannah Stewart, and there's some confusion. It just kind of gets played over the holler, and it's going to be blocked by Opgenorth and Rogers. Feel like that combination we've said quite a few times.
Yeah, we have.
Blocking so key in these defensive plays. If these hitters are too good for both teams. If there's no blocker, they're not going to miss. Another hard serve by Hannah Stewart. Covenant continuing to be aggressive. Roll shot. Going to go back outside to Hannah Rogers. She gets a roll shot of her own. Claire Adams digs. Outside to Mary Kate White. And a changeup off the top. Chelsea Van Dyke for the assist attempt. Hannah Rogers gets it blocked. I believe that's Jaycott in the front row, making her presence felt on the defensive end for sure this game.
Absolutely. Hasn't
done a whole lot offensively, but she's prevented a whole lot of points, so that's just as good as offense. Only one kill for Jaycott, but she's had 4 block assists and 1 solo block, so that's points right there. We're going to go to Van Dyke, and she's blocked by guess who else? Jaycott. Becker with a tight set. Dug out, they're going to go outside to Vineyard. And Vineyard puts it down, but Skylar Moore is there. Skylar Moore with a back row attack. They're going to push deep. Hannah Stewart's able to get there. There you go, Jenny Moore with a back row attack. Dug out well by Flickinger. And big point right there, wow.
It's just fantastic to watch, Ben.
Once again, we're seeing a little bit of everything here.
I'm shocked. These girls, they jump on every single hit. They're up and down. They have to be feeling it a little bit at this point.
Absolutely.
Hannah Rogers back to serve for Covenant. All square at 7.
Although at this point, whatever's hurting, you're probably not going to feel it until tomorrow.
That's right. We're working on adrenaline a little bit now.
Going to go for the short floater. Dug by Holler. They're going to go middle. And with another tip, but they're able to find it. Tries to tip it back. Not quite able to get there. And that's going to be blocked. Going to go outside to Holler. Hannah Stewart's able to dig it. They're going to go back row to Jenny Moore. Jenny Moore gets a good hit, and Del Campo not quite able to get there. His back row attacks have been very effective. It looks like Del Campo either slipped. I thought she might have cramped up there for a minute, but I think it's just all the sweat on the floor trying to keep it from. This gets Covenant's crowd in, and as Covenant leads now 8-7 in this 4th set of our USA South Championship volleyball game, with Covenant leading 2 sets to 1. I keep calling them games. I believe they call them sets. 2 sets to 1. Covenant winning set 1, 26-24. Maryville returning the favor, 26-24 in set 2. Covenant coming right back, winning set 3, 26-24. And once again, we are a 1-point game here as well. Nobody able to really pull away. As expected, they're going to go to Jaycott there with a little timing play. Timing's a little off. Out to Holler, who brings it and finds the seam.
Good swing again by Holler.
Yeah. Once again, very impressed. I know I've said this a lot. The balanced attack by Maryville College is really keeping this in the game. They've got Madison Coker with 11 kills, Sophia Del Campo with 9, Holler with 9, Holler now with 10, Vineyard with 8, and Mary Kate White with 8. They could realistically have 10 players with double-digit kills. Does not happen very often in volleyball games. So very tough for a defense to key on one player. Great serve there. Covenant having to scramble just to get it over. It's going to go outside to Vineyard, who puts a great swing on it. It's going to go up into the rafters and going to create a problem for Covenant.
Takes a tough bounce there
Yep.
up in those rafters. It just gets rattling around up there, but that was an excellent hit again by Vineyard.
Vineyard coming on strong here in set 4. Said her name quite a few times here in the first few points. Stephanie Gleason back serving for Maryville College. We go to Chelsea Van Dyke, and there she is stuffed, met by
Vineyard and Jaycott again.
Vineyard and Jaycott. Surprise, surprise. Very impressed. Jaycott really making her presence felt. Vineyard really making her presence felt. More so on the offensive end, but she gets in on the defensive party there.
Yeah,
nice
Jaycott really gets off the floor quickly.
Yeah. And that's what Van Dyke usually is able to do. Van Dyke gets off the floor quick and gets a great arm swing, and if blockers are late, she gets really easy kills. But if she gets a very athletic center, middle blocker going against her, as Jaycott is, and Jaycott can elevate with her, it's tough. She may have to start finding some holes and directing and some pushing the ball deep.
2-point game. Covenant takes a timeout. Covenant's timeouts have been effective throughout this series of games.
Yeah.
I think the crowd needs a breather too,
Yeah,
Ben. It's been so tense for
everybody is kind of on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, going on an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. All right, we're back from the timeout here. Maryville College leading Covenant College 10-8. Stephanie Gleason back. And we've got a sub for the first time this match. We see
number 9,
Rachel Kazimko, a second-team all-conference player, but has not played yet in this match. We were not told as to what the reason was for that, but she will make an appearance coming in for Sofia Del Campo. Del Campo has not come out maybe ever this entire tournament, so I'm not sure what's going on exactly, but that's our situation. And Chelsea Van Dyke does come up with a push, but Maryville is ready for it. Tight set, blocked well by
Go right
Moore.
to her, right to Rachel.
And Skylar Moore once again. Watch out when Skylar Moore is in the front row. She will attack the ball on big points when she sees an opening. Very effective with that left hand. Looks like she's going to set it and then comes over with the left. Olivia Becker back to serve. Flickinger able to corral it. Out to Cosimo. Maybe a little rusty coming in. Goes for the tip. The little cut tip that we've seen so effective on Maryville's side. And that ball just goes right into the net. And once again, knotted again at 10. 10-10.
Obviously comfortable going to Kazimko because they've set her
Kazimko.
twice.
Sorry, I think I called her Cosimo. Kazimko, thank you for the correction. And Kazimko there with the receiving error. Going to be an ace for Olivia Becker.
Covenant up 11-10.
Another good aggressive serve. Caitlin Flickinger gets it up. Vineyard with another tip. Van Dyke is ready for it. Going to go back outside to Jenny Moore. And she's able to get through the block.
Through the block.
Don't see that with Vineyard and Jaycott out there. Have been very effective. And just like that, Covenant College goes on a 4-point run. And now Maryville College calls a timeout.
Both coaches knowing that 2 points is even huge margin in these tight games all the way around.
Crowd staying in it here. They've been here for a long time today. They had a great crowd last night.
Yeah, great support for both these teams.
It does make it easier when we have an indoor sport with the weather outside being a little rainy and a little wet.
Both teams listening intently to what the coaches have to say.
Key part in the game here, middle part of the game. If one team can really take control, I don't know if that's possible. Considering the 3 games we've played so far, nobody's really taken control.
Nobody has taken control. That's absolutely right.
It's been back and forth, so we're going to have to see if one team can really go on a run here, it might kind of make a difference in this game.
Olivia Becker will be serving for Covenant. Again, 12-10, Covenant up by 2, game 4, set 4, excuse me.
I've done the same thing all night. I feel like they used to be called games, and now they're sets. I'm not sure. All right, each coach has called one timeout. Let's see if Maryville's timeout was as effective as Covenant's timeout, as Covenant went on a 4-point run there. Olivia Becker back to serve. And it's going to be a deep one. Flickinger's able to get it. They're going to go outside to Kazemko, and Hannah Stewart is up for the challenge outside to Jenny Moore. And Jenny Moore is able, Flickinger is able to, Gleason gets it up and gets it to Flickinger, who gets it back to Gleason, who gets it over. They're going to go outside to Chelsea Van Dyke, and they dive for it. Great get by Gleason.
Again,
Scramble mode. Gleason, the senior, not wanting to go out.
A little bit too much on that one from Chelsea Van Dyke. Gleason going for it.
Gleason was on the floor on every ball time that ball went over the net right there. Incredible effort by Gleason, but Van Dyke just put it in a spot that she could not get with way too much authority there. And Becker had a nice little 5-point run. Hits it into the net, and that's going to bring a rotation. That's going to bring Madison Coker back in for Maryville College. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to go on a little run with her.
Agreed. Mariah Cornery back in the game for Covenant.
Back to serve Claire, no.
Jaycott,
thank you. And off the arms.
Good hustle by Skylar Moore to run that one down for Covenant.
They're going to go to Coker. Might have been a double, but they didn't call it. They're going to go outside to Jenny Moore. She goes for the tip, and it goes around the antenna, and that's going to be a point for Covenant College. Covenant College extends their lead back 14-11. 3-point lead here with Chelsea Van Dyke serving. Biggest lead for Covenant in quite some time, maybe for either team. To Kazemko,
and
not able to handle. Van Dyke might be getting her confidence back with the serves. If she gets the confidence back with the serves, watch out. She's able to roll off 5-6 in a row.
Right, nice and deep.
Another good serve. Looks like it's going to be another ace, and it is. Van Dyke.
A couple of big serves for Chelsea Van Dyke.
Seems to be fairly hot or cold. When she's on, she's hard to stop. When she's off, she does have a tendency to hit it deep. That's 2 in a row, 2 aces in a row for Chelsea Van Dyke. It's going to be a hard floater. Flickinger's able to get a good pass up. They're going to go outside to Coker. And Coker, they're going to call a tip on that. I don't know who called the tip.
A little bewildered there myself.
I did not see it.
Along with the Covenant crowd.
Yeah.
That's a big point there.
But
makes it a 4-point swing. And
yeah, that's why they're there.
Instead of 5. Yeah, they've done a great job all weekend.
It's so hard to tell. That arm swing is coming so hard. They're having to watch so much. They just look for a little change of direction. There must have been a little bit of a change of direction there. Claire Adams back to serve. Maryville, this is where they've gone on a few runs themselves. Jenny Moore's able to get it up. A little bit out of rotation there. They're going to go back to Moore on the outside. Might have been tipped. They're going to go to Coker in the middle, and Opgenorth is there for the task.
Opgenorth, and then put down by Skylar Moore.
Skylar Moore, though she's a setter, she's a fantastic hitter, and if she gets the opportunity, she's not afraid to put it down.
Opgenorth with a single block. Fantastic
that's tough
work
to do
there.
on Coker.
5-point lead.
Maryville College still has quite a few hitting options out there. They are not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. They showed that in the semifinal, coming back against Averett. Games 2 and 3.
That's
big
right.
Comebacks.
Skylar Moore to serve for Covenant.
It's going to scrape the top of the net. They're going to go to Coker again, and it's going to be blocked again by Rogers and Opgenorth. You go outside to White. Go outside to Jenny Moore. Jenny Moore goes for it. Blocked by Coker and White. They're going to try again. Dug by Gleason. Great dig to Kazemko. And Kazemko gets her first kill of the night. Well placed.
Off the block a little bit.
Yep. Slowed it down some. Great back and forth action here.
Kazemko back to serve for the first time.
Holler back in the front for Maryville College, number 6. Little out of rotation here. Going to have to just free ball it over. Good serve by Kazemko. They get it to White. Be a tight set. And it's going to be Covenant's ball. We have a back row attack. Once again, setters in the back row. She tight pass. She tried to set it. Ended up going over. And it's going to be a back row attack. Point, Covenant College. 18-13 with Jenny Moore serving, number 4. she goes aggressive again, but not high enough. And into the net. Tough when you get those chances.
Yeah, maybe a little fatigue, but she's definitely going aggressive on the serve there.
Legs may be going. Flickinger back for Maryville College to serve. Great serve, well dug by Hannah. And Opgenorth puts it right on the line. Does not get much closer than that. Opgenorth coming up huge this
really
game.
Playing well tonight.
Opgenorth with her 10th kill. That gives Covenant College 3 players with double-digit kills, led by Jenny Moore with 17, Chelsea Van Dyke with 14, and Morgan Opgenorth with 10 now. Holler to the outside, through the block of Rogers and Van Dyke. That's going to give Holler 11 on the night. Once again, Maryville College, very balanced attack. Coker, Holler, Del Campo, Vineyard, and White, all with at least 8 kills. Making it very tough on this Covenant College defense.
Taylor Ewell back to serve for Maryville, 19-15 Covenant.
Maryville going to need to go on a run here if they want to stay in this game and in this match.
It's getting late to trade points.
Yep. They're going to go outside to
Becker.
Dug by Kazemko. They're going to go outside to Vineyard, and she is blocked. Outside to Holler. Get a touch on it. Oh, that's a tough play. Great, well played there by Skylar Moore. They're going to go outside to Holler. And it might have been out, but I can't fault that. Good effort there by Jenny Moore.
Good effort. And by Hannah Stewart.
Probably would have been out.
Yeah, it looked like it might be wide, but pretty tough for us to tell up here.
Hard to let a ball like that go, though, when you feel like you got to play on it. 19-16. Maryville College making a little run here, a little 2-point run. Back row attack by Jenny Moore, dug out by Flickinger. The back row attack by Kazemko. Probably going to go to Van Dyke here in the middle. They do, and she goes for the tip.
Perfect time for a tip.
Done.
She's hit a couple real hard lately.
Yep, and Maryville was ready for the hit, and she found the soft spot in the zone, and Covenant gets a nice little... And Covenant students now start the "We Come from the Mountain" chant. Been around since you were at Covenant College, Scott, I believe.
Has been. And that's saying something, Ben.
That's many years ago. And Skylar Moore again.
Another look by Skylar.
Row attack.
Pushes that lead back up to 5 points for Covenant, 21-16. Hannah Rogers back to serve again. Maryville with another timeout.
Candace Schramm's going to call her second timeout as the crowd is rocking here at Covenant College. They are smelling and tasting potential victory.
They can feel it.
But as I tell my 4.5-year-old, and as he tells me, it's not over till it's over. Thanks to the old Yogi Berra saying there. So he always reminds me, if a game's not over yet, Dad, it's not over yet. So
well, we've seen that play out here, Ben.
Yeah.
All three, the first game being 26-24. So I would certainly not say this is over.
I don't think Maryville is intimidated. I don't think they're surprised. I don't think they're worried.
No, they'll continue to play their game. That's what's gotten them here.
Yep, but they will need to get some points and get them in bunches here and go on a little bit of a run. If they trade points, they're going to run out of time.
Agreed. Covenant 4 points away. Hannah Rogers will be serving.
Waiting for a ball there. There we go.
She's found one to her liking now.
21-16 here. Covenant College leading Maryville College. The fourth set. Rogers able to get to Kazemko. Tight set. Great dig. And Van Dyke says, I'm just going to go over Skylar Moore and put it straight down. Skylar Moore thought she was going to set it, and Van Dyke just said,
Chelsea said, I'll just take this now. I don't need the set.
Covenant bumps their lead up to 22-16. Hannah Rogers back serving. Another good quality serve. Flickinger has to dive for it. Holler on the outside, a little tip. You're going to go outside to Becker. It's going to be deep, but Kazemko plays it.
Keeps it in.
Back row to Kazemko. And that ball is going to be out. Pushes Covenant's lead to 23-16, and Covenant can taste the victory right now.
Fans are getting real riled up here, Ben.
President Derek J. Halverson, or J. Derek Halverson?
J. Derek,
sorry, has made an appearance here. President of Covenant College. That's going to be blocked. Well covered by Flickinger. A little confusion. Free ball over. Going to go to Van Dyke here. Oh, and some miscommunication with Van Dyke and Moore. Van Dyke trying to go for the outside slide. Moore thought she was coming quick middle, and that's going to be an easy point.
(23-17) Maryville.
Holler going to be back. Number 6,
Good
great
serve.
Well dug up and can just scramble mode to get it over. Going to go outside to Vineyard. And Vineyard is able to put it down. Big hit. That's what Maryville College needs right now.
Again, as Ben said, they're not going to get intimidated or nervous. They've been here too many times.
Yeah. As two-time defending USA South volleyball champions, this is a familiar place for them to be. Holler serves it well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get a timeout here from Covenant College just to try to calm the nerves and not get ahead of themselves too much. Maryville with a nice little three-point run to make it 23-19.
A couple of really, really great efforts by Maryville there. Haller with a couple of good serves.
Yeah, Holler is really not going with easy serves. She's still staying aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Both teams very aggressive with the serves.
They really are leaving it all out there.
Yep. Maryville.
Again, gives everybody a little chance to catch their breath.
Yeah. Said Coach Ram, 30th year at Maryville College. No, I doubt there's anything that she hasn't seen in her 30 years. So she's been here, done that. She has her team prepared. They've been firing on all cylinders really in the last weekend. They won 2 games, beat Meredith, beat Methodist, came out very well, beating Methodist again, and then beating the number 1 seed from the North, Averett. Averett, very strong team this year. Very good season. 23-19 here.
Another important serve for Haller.
Very few sitting in the stands. That's going to be deep, and that's going to be a service error. Once again, the coaches will take credit for that point. Coach Joanna Eman is trying to calm her team down.
A lot of one fingers up in the air.
Would this be fitting? Olivia Becker, who was probably not even going to play today, coming in for Jess Seahorn. It's going to be a tight set. They're going to get it up. And it's batted around. Go outside to Kazemko.
And it's blocked.
And Skylar Moore and Chelsea Van Dyke finish the game off, and Covenant College is your 2015 USA South Conference champions. And the crowd is going wild. The staff at Covenant College is having to keep the players off the court. There's a guy in a kilt running up and down the sideline.
We got a bear head. We got all kinds of stuff out there. Great job by both teams.
Hats off to Maryville College. They played their absolute hearts out.
They really did.
It's hard to see a season end for a team, but they gave everything they had.
They really did.
They had a rough stretch in the middle of the season where they lost quite a few games, but they were able to come back, play really strong at the end, and put themselves in a position to win the tournament. And they had, this is the only game of the 4 that was not within 2 points. You can hear Covenant's crowd but nothing but respect for Coach Tram, what she's done at Covenant College.
Yeah, big hug between her and
at Maryville College. Sorry.
That's okay.
The Scots, both the Scots and it looks like the Covenant players are going into the crowd here.
Yeah, get a little celebration going.
Trying
Good for
not to
them.
get any of the body paint on them, but Maryville College, incredible season. They're going to finish their season with a record of 18-11. Nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Great fight. Both teams are going to be exhausted. They may need some ice baths. But Covenant College will extend their season.
That's right. They sit back and wait, see where they go now.
They will play in the NCAA regional tournament.
It's fantastic stuff
for Covenant. This will be the first conference title for Covenant College. They won their first regular season conference title. And this will be their first conference tournament championship and their first NCAA Division III postseason berth. So hats off to Coach Joanna Eman and assistant coach Stephanie Wharton.
Got to throw that in. Yeah. You better at this point.
I will say she might be a difference maker. She is in my life. But great hats off to Covenant College coming back, losing 2 players, 2 starters to injury.
Yeah.
And coming back, hats off to Olivia Becker for coming in, Mariah Corney coming in.
Yeah, big points from
Morgan
North
played well.
Yeah.
Once again, though, the balanced attack from Maryville College, can't say enough. Madison Coker ending with 12 kills, Nia Holler with 12, Sophia Del Campo with 9, Julia Vineyard with 9, and Mary Kate White with 8. They came at Covenant College with really from all angles. And Covenant was able to counter with who else? Their 2 all-conference players, Jenny Moore, Chelsea Van Dyke, 17 kills, 16 kills. And Morgan Opkenorth, I thought, really stepped up and played an incredible game. She struggled a little bit in the game 1 of this tournament, but she came up with 10 kills, only 1 error. She hit .429, which is phenomenal. Skylar Moore came up with 7 kills of her own to go with 45 assists. Just all across the board, hats off to both teams. We'll let you guys listen on into the awards ceremony here. So we'll be quiet and let you guys listen. Will interrupt here, say Del Campo had a fantastic tournament here. Played all the way around for Maryville College Scots. Did a little bit of everything. She can hit, she can pass, she can defend.
Chelsea probably very happy she continues her senior year.
Yeah, it's good to extend the season for at least 1 more week. Not a surprise here with Madison Coker. I felt like she was kept in check a little bit by Covenant, but she still had 12 kills and only 1 error. Once again, not a surprise. Covenant College, the 3 all-conference players. What got them here? Got them to the championship.
Absolutely right.
Great crowd by Covenant College. Very enthusiastic, great environment. Like I said, this was everything you wanted. A close match, well-played match, well-coached match, great sportsmanship, great energy, great rivalry. Once again, let's congratulate the USA Softball Tournament team members. Mike Christie here, the Assistant Commissioner. USA South Volleyball Tournament Championship Trophy goes to the Covenant College Lady Scouts. And fittingly, they all go out together to get the award. That's
some on crutches, some in braces, some in street clothes.
Yep. But hats off to Covenant College, the way they fought, the way they overcame adversity. And hats off to Maryville College. They're staying out there. It's been a tough go, and they're clapping for Covenant. Great sportsmanship. Just really hats off to both teams. Great night. Well-played volleyball, and congratulations to Covenant College.
I think it was big for him to be playing here at home. I think the crowd really helped him today and yesterday. And they did the work during the regular season to get him here, and I think a little bit of it paid off tonight for him.
Well, everybody at home, we hope you enjoyed our inaugural debut here for Ben Wharton and Scott Bosgraf here at Barnes Physical Education Center on the campus of Covenant College in Lookout Mountain. We tell you good night. Covenant will advance to the NCAA tournament. Check out the Covenant website, athletics.covenant.edu, and our incredible sports information director, Andrew Mendeman, for more information. For Scott Bosgraf, I'm Ben Wharton. Have a great night.